How do doubled pawns impact chess strategy? Imagine a game where your pawns line up perfectly, supporting each other like a strong wall. Now picture a situation where two pawns of the same color end up on the same file. That's what we call doubled pawns. They happen when one pawn captures another and ends up stacked behind its teammate. At first glance, doubled pawns might seem like a mistake or a weakness, but they can also be part of a bigger plan. Doubled pawns are often seen as a flaw because they can't protect each other. If one gets attacked, the other can't come to its rescue. This makes doubled pawns more vulnerable, especially in the endgame when pawns become more important for promotion. They also block each other's movement, which limits how much they can support the center or flank attacks. Plus, having doubled pawns can leave nearby squares weak, giving your opponent chances to place their pieces there. However, doubled pawns are not always bad. Sometimes, accepting them can open up a file for your rook or queen to move along. This can give your heavy pieces more activity and influence across the board. In some cases, doubled pawns help control key squares or protect your king better. They can also be part of a strategic trade-off, where the weakness is balanced by other advantages like better piece placement or control of important territory. In practical play, if your opponent has doubled pawns, a common idea is to target those pawns in the endgame. Attacking and trying to win them can create new weaknesses for your opponent to handle. On the flip side, you might push your own pawns on the opposite side of the board to create passed pawns, pawns that can march forward to promotion without being stopped. Moving your pieces to exploit the weak squares caused by doubled pawns is another useful tactic. Sometimes, accepting doubled pawns is a smart move if it leads to more dynamic play. Opening lines for your rooks or gaining the bishop pair can outweigh the structural weakness. The key is understanding when doubled pawns are a liability and when they can serve a strategic purpose. It all depends on the overall position, how active your pieces are, and whether the benefits of the doubled pawns outweigh their drawbacks. So, in chess, doubled pawns can be both a problem and an opportunity. Recognizing how to use or exploit them is a big part of mastering pawn structure and core concepts. Whether they help or hurt depends on the situation, and knowing when to accept or target these pawns can turn the tide of the game.